This might be one of the craziest looking supercars to ever started Le Mans racing, and it is the 1991 787b of Mazda. So what exactly is the Mazda 787b? Well, this car is actually a Le Mans prototype race car that was actually a supercar. It's a one-seated supercar with 700 horsepower. Imagine that! 700 horsepower in this thing? This is just crazy. And besides, is this thing even a real car or just a spaceship? From what I can tell, its spaceship sound was actually developed from its engine, a four-rotary engine that was actually used on this kind of supercar, and in fact, this thing is even real. This car can go so fast it can do 338 km per hour, and it is actually a powerful race car that is actually a supercar. I don't obviously think that Mazda would try to do Le Mans with such a overpowered car. I mean, not to mention, the car itself is OP. Locally kinda cool because I think it's one of the craziest things Mazda has made. The Mazda 787b was also used in the Electronic Arts game Real Racing 3. In fact, this car does sound like a spaceship if you hear it when you play prototype Le Mans driving. If you are able to notice, the car does actually sound like a spaceship due to its four rotary engine, which I said about earlier. One of the strangest things about this car is a prototype Le Mans street machine, and guess what? It's the only supercar to have one seat because unlike other supercars like McLaren, Lamborghini, Mercedes-Benz, they all have two seats, but this one is only like a one-seater car. In fact, this thing drives like a spaceship because you can obviously see that it's very low to the ground, long, and it has a lower cockpit where you only have one seat, the driver's seat, in the middle of this car. Very strange and very weird. What makes this car unintentionally recognizable is no one even hears its high-pitched roar going, and it's coming right at you. And from what I can tell, this is one of the weirdest looking supercars that I've ever seen. In fact, it's the only supercar with one seat. Very weird and very strange. Unlike the Ford GT40, which is a two-seater Le Mans race car, this car was actually meant for the 24-hour of Le Mans. In fact, why would Mazda made such a strange looking vehicle like this? In fact, I could obviously understand why they would go for something ultimate, but this is the ultimatum of crazy. The 787b could likely be a joke or comical reference to that of an airplane due to its shape and aerodynamic designs. The comical truth about this car is that it doesn't even look like an airplane, while it has a low aerodynamic profile characteristic of many racing cars. Its design is not intended to resemble an airplane. The car's shape is optimized for downforce and speed on the racetrack, not for mimicking the form of an aircraft. So sadly, people obviously mistake this as an airplane. So, the materials of this car is actually a innovative R268 four-rotor engine, a lightweight carbon Kevlar monocoque chassis, and advanced aerodynamics. This car is likely one of the strangest and weirdest things Mazda has made. According to what I would say earlier, the thing is about this obnoxious looking and distinctive looking car is that its spaceship sound is primarily caused by its R26B rotary engine. Unlike conventional piston engines, the rotary engine's unique design featuring spinning rotors instead of pistons produces a high-pitched screaming sound, especially at high RPMs. The four-rotor configuration of the R26B further amplifies this effect, creating a signature howl that many associate with futuristic or otherworldly sounds. The formidable speed about this car in real life is likely 380 miles per hour because this car is likely one of the fastest things living on the planet. In fact, why would anyone call this a supercar even though it looks like a spaceship? According to some car people, many have described the Mazda 787b, often describe it as looking like a spaceship due to its distinctive futuristic design and the unique high-pitched sound of its rotary engine. The car's overall shape with its low slung body, large rear wing, and integrated front radiator gives it a sleek aerodynamic appearance. The vibrant renowned livery with its dotted lines and bold colors further enhances its otherworldly aesthetics. So this crazy looking supercar was actually made in 1991, thus making it one of the oldest and strangest looking race cars that I've ever seen. Not to mention crazy, but I would obviously describe this thing to be a spaceship due to its strange and oddity of its presence. According to what I said earlier, it is true. The Mazda 787b can reach a crazy top speed of 338 kilometer per hour, making it one of the fastest things living on Earth, and it is an absolute definition of crazy but cool. Definitely one of the craziest and coolest things to live on the planet. According to some car fans, the Mazda 787b is often considered a remarkable and even crazy looking machine due to its unique rotary engine and its historic Le Mans victories. It was first and only in fact, it is the only and first Japanese race car to win 24 Hour of Le Mans, a feature achieved in 1991. The 787B's innovative four-rotary engine, which produced a distinctive and powerful sound, is a major reason for its legendary status. According to some car enthusiasts, many people believe that the Mazda 787B was compared with other supercars like the McLaren P1 GTR and the Valkyrie, though the latter is more of a road car rather than a supercar itself. In fact, no one even ever believes that the fact that the 787B was likely one of the craziest looking things that you've ever seen in real life. According to some fans, this car was actually a real life thing. The Mazda 787B is a real life race car, a legendary Japanese sports car prototype race car that competed in the World Supercar Championship and the All Japanese Sports Prototype Championship, notably winning the 24 Hour of Le Mans in 1991. This victory marked the first and only time a Japanese car and a rotary engine powered car won the prestigious race. According to some fans, this car has retired from competition after the race. The Mazda 787B chassis 002 now takes pride of place in the Mazda HQ Museum in Hiroshima. This may likely be the last time we get to see of the 787B, making it an icon and a master of racing technology. Racing technology has gone up with some of the weirdest and craziest things, like the Mazda 787B being one of the craziest ones, but the most alleged one and not so crazy looking supercar would be the GT40, aka the one that was used in Ford versus Ferrari. After its long days of racing, the Mazda 787B now rests in the Hiroshima Museum, no longer competing in those car races after a long time, including a return to Le Mans for its 20th anniversary. This may likely be the fact that this car had an anniversary for 20 years prior to its competition time in racing. Although it's been a long time since we've seen this car run the track and on race courses, this car was truly an icon to remember. Thank you all for watching. Make sure that you go comment, like, and subscribe.